Shalom and welcome to Beit Yisrael International's Voice of Torah podcast, where the eternal wisdom of the Torah meets the heartbeat of today's world. I'm Gadi Ephraim, and today we explore Parashat Pinchas, a parasha filled with passion, leadership, and peace. Pinchas acts with fierce zeal to stop a national tragedy, and God rewards him with a surprising gift, a covenant of peace, brit Shalom. But what makes someone worthy of peace through such bold action? The sages teach us that Pinchas acted not from pride or anger, but from deep alignment with Hashem's will. His selfless zeal saved lives and earned eternal priesthood. This parasha also introduces the daughters of Tzelofchad, who courageously request inheritance rights. God affirms their claim, revealing new halacha through their faith and wisdom. It's a reminder that true spiritual strength often comes through clarity, not conflict. Finally, Moshe prepares Joshua to lead the next generation, and we're given a full outline of the daily and festival offerings, the sacred rhythm of divine connection. Parashat Pinchas shows us that zeal, humility, and righteousness, when guided by truth, lead not to chaos but to shalom. May we all be inspired to walk in this path of sacred balance as we journey through the sacred year of 5785. May we all hear the inner call to rise with holy courage, to speak with truth, and to act for the sake of heaven. Thank you for joining us. Shalom uveracha.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really complex figure, Pinchas. Often seen as this, intensely zealous, maybe controversial character in ancient texts.
Definitely. He's someone who often raises eyebrows, let's say.
Right. But we're going to pivot hard today. Because this deep dive, and we're leaning heavily on the insights from the Beit Yisrael International Commentary and the Gadi Frame Notes, reveal something totally different. A really profound mystical journey, actually.
It's about tikkun hanefesh, soul rectification, and maybe surprisingly, a path towards peace. Real eternal peace.
It sounds almost counterintuitive given the story's surface. So let's just jump right in. One thing that jumps out immediately, especially from the Gadi Frame Notes, is that Pinchas acted, completely on his own. No divine command, no word from Moshe.
Exactly. That's critical. The Talmud actually mentions this type of situation as a halacha, a law, but one that isn't proactively taught.
You're not taught. Why not?
Because it's incredibly risky. It requires what the texts call a purified inner fire, and completely devoid of ego. Ramban says Pinchas wasn't acting out of rage, but this deep, authentic passion to sanctify God's name, moving in holiness.
Holiness, not rage. That focus on the internal state, it leads right into the power of intention, doesn't it? The Beit Yisrael International Commentary seems laser-focused on this.
Absolutely central.
Yeah.
It basically says the line between holy zeal and, destructive fanaticism is entirely about the intention.
Okay.
Rabbi Eliyahu Dessler explains this too. True kanat, this holy zeal, it isn't fury, it's not aggression, it's a deep inner alignment with the divine will.
So Pinchas somehow refined that raw passion.
That's what the Gadi Frame Notes suggest. It became a calculated, selfless act. The intention was so pure, believe it or not, that the act itself is reframed as healing. An act of healing, not just harm.
Healing, that's a radical reframing. Now this is where things get really, really deep. Mystical even. Our sources, especially the Arizal, bring up something astonishing. Pinchas carried the spiritual root of Cain.
Yes, that Cain from Genesis, the first murderer.
Wow. Okay, what does that possibly mean in this context? How does that connect?
It's a profound layer. See, Zimri, the man Pinchas confronted, is seen as spiritually embodying the three cardinal sins: idolatry, immorality, and murder. So when Pinchas acted,
he wasn't just stopping Zimri.
He was doing far more. He was confronting and, in a mystical sense, uprooting the source of these sins, rectifying this ancient cosmic imbalance linked back to Cain. The Beit Yisrael commentary calls it a spiritual elevation, not revenge.
A spiritual elevation through such an act, that explains maybe why he wasn't disqualified as a Kohen, because normally shedding blood would do that.
Exactly. The Zohar points that out, but the Gadi Frame Notes clarify. His act was seen as transcendent. It was like using the sword of truth to purify, removing the very root of ego and violence from Cain onwards. And that specific act earned him a unique priesthood. It didn't disqualify, it qualified.
Incredible. And this leads directly to the Brit Shalom, the covenant of peace. But there's a twist there too, right? In the Torah scroll, the word shalom, peace, is written strangely.
With the broken vav.
Yes.
The letter vav in the middle of the word is written with a crack, essentially.
A broken letter for peace seems paradoxical.
It does. But the Beit Yisrael International Commentary offers a beautiful interpretation. That brokenness symbolizes humility, the breaking of one's ego for the sake of heaven.
Ah, okay.
And other great thinkers, the Chida, the Kedushat Levi, the Svatamed, they agree. Sometimes true peace emerges through struggle, but only if the motivation is pure. Pinchas, they say, acted from a broken heart. In that sense, broken open to divine will, not hardened by ego or self-glory.
So it wasn't just an act, it was a whole inner transformation. The Hasidic teachings, like those in the Gadi Ephraim notes, they call him a soul transformer.
His gevura, his inherent strictness or severity, was channeled and transformed into cheesed, into compassion and kindness. That's what ultimately brought about peace.
And this transformation, it culminates
In his elevation, he becomes Eliyahu Navi, Elijah the prophet. The Zohar confirms they share the same spiritual root.
So the one who starts with this divine fire ends up as the prophet who heralds unity and the ultimate redemption.
Precisely. And the Beit Yisrael International Commentary sees this whole arc from zeal to peace as a kind of blueprint, a model for every soul's potential journey.
So let's bring this home. What's the takeaway for us today, looking through the lens of the Beit Yisrael International Commentary and Gadi Ephraim notes? It can't be about imitating the physical act.
Absolutely not. That's crucial. The contemporary lesson, according to Beit Yisrael International, is about becoming zealots in repair. Tikkun.
Zealots in repair, meaning?
Meaning every time you or I or anyone listening consciously breaks their ego for a higher purpose, every time we take a negative trait and redirect it towards good. That's the continuation of Pinchas' legacy.
Like the Baal Shem Tov taught. Right. Even our darker impulses, refined, can serve God.
Exactly. That's echoed in the Gadi Ephraim notes too. And that broken vav in Shalom. It's not about permanent damage, it's about an opening. A brokenness that allows divine light, divine wholeness to enter. Brokenness leading to greater wholeness.
So Pinchas becomes this powerful symbol, not of violence, but of courageous inner work, courageous tikkun, transforming chaos into clarity, sin into atonement.
Disconnection into covenant. Achieving ultimately eternal peace.
It's a completely different way to see him. So let's leave our listeners with this, drawing from the Beit Yisrael International Commentary and the Gadi Ephraim notes. How can you learn from this deep dive into Pinchas? How can you turn your own, let's say, inner fire into peace, your own brokenness into wholeness, your zeal into redemption? How can your own broken vavs, those places of vulnerability or struggle, become holy gates on your journey towards your own covenant of peace?